Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Testing Psychologist podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Jeremy Sharp, licensed psychologist, group practice owner, and private practice coach. Hey, everyone, welcome back to the Testing Psychologist. Today, I am revisiting the EHR review series. So it's been a long time since I've done an EHR review, and a lot has happened, I think, since then. There are continually new EHRs that are popping onto the scene, and the ones that are emerging over the last, 6, 12, 18 months are increasingly AI driven, as you might imagine. So I'm jumping in and reviewing a new EHR today called Healthie. Healthie, Healthie. Now, as with any of the EHR reviews, the accompanying video is going to be super helpful. So you can listen to the audio, of course, but there are some things to be missed, if you don't watch the video. So go check the show notes, get the link for the video, and make sure and get the full experience here. So I'm going to check out Healthie. Healthie is a multi-specialty EHR. It's aimed at many different practice types, from medical to behavioral health to nutrition to even health coaching. There are all the traditional features that you might imagine: scheduling and billing and insurance claims and reporting and analytics. Pricing is going to range somewhere between $19.99 up to, I think it is $139.99, depending on the type of practice and the features that you want. So there is a lot to look at here, and this is a lengthy review. We dive into all the different features, and of course, I'm looking through this lens of whether it is user-friendly and appropriate for a testing practice. So stay tuned. Check out this review if you are considering a new EHR. Now, at this point, let's see, we're probably in mid to late May at this point when this is going to be released. So spots, I think, are full. And if not totally full, then we may have 1 or 2 spots left for the Crafted Practice retreat this summer. It's coming up in just a couple of months in July in Northern Colorado. And you can go to thetestingpsychologist.com/craftedpractice to see if there are any spots available. If there are, happy to chat with you and see if it's a good fit for you. For now, though, let's transition to my review of Healthie. Hello, everyone. Let's see. We are back with an EHR review. So this is one of my favorite things to do. I love looking at EHRs. I love technology, but I haven't done one in a while. So here we are. It is April 2026, and EHRs have come a long way. I think we are starting to see a new wave of EHRs that are using AI increasingly. And this is the first review that I'm going to do with one of those EHRs. So here we are. This is Healthie, Healthie. Clever name. Okay, so this is what you see after you sign up. Now, a little bit of background. When I do these EHR reviews, this is meant to be a truly blind review of the EHR. So I'm coming at this from the perspective of a new user who is logging on for the first time, trying to figure out the system. So I'm focusing on really 2 main things. One is ease of use and user interface. The second is ease of use for a testing practice specifically. And a little more detail in that, a testing practice that bills insurance. So this is what you see when you log in. After I went to sign up for Healthie, which was a really easy process, you just go to their website. They give you a 2-week trial. You do not have to enter a credit card. And then you answer, after you create a username and password, you answer 3 questions, actually. It asks what your specialty is, because this is aimed at many different specialties. It asks, let's see, what was the second thing that it asked? Well, now I can't remember, y'all, but it was 3 questions, super easy. It asked which modules you're most interested in, like scheduling, billing, private pay, what else? Documentation, and a couple others. So you got to check boxes depending on what you're most interested in. And there was one other question. It asked the size of the practice. So once I answered those questions and hit submit, this is what I see. So it gives you the choice here to pick one of these things. So I'm going to just go ahead and say add your first client. All right, I like this already. I like a nice little pop-up that guides you through the interface. So let's go ahead and hit next. Love this. Okay, perfect. so here we are. All right, I am going to add myself. Let's see. Don't know what group is. Let's check it out and see what group is. Well, there's no group. And email. So going to be my own provider. Let's see. I'll go ahead and send the email, but bummer. Let's see here. There we go. We'll see how this works. I'll go ahead and invite myself, but we do have example clients as well. Okay, so I've added a client. This is fantastic. Let's go ahead and click into this client. All right, I'm going to dismiss this for now. Okay, easy information over here. Let's see. I'm trying to find a way to edit this client, and let's see, I've got an archive. Okay, gives you the option right here to start a video call. That's interesting. Okay, I can't find a way to edit this client at this point. So, just looking around. Okay, so this is just a kind of a user factor here. All right, no care plans, journal. Don't know what it looks like. This is for nutrition or medical metrics. Yep, also for medical. Goals, maybe we could use this in a therapy setting. Full script, that is going to be prescriptions, medication. Go back to charting. Client forms, documents, records. Okay, interesting. Billing interface here. Nothing there right yet. Let's see what actions is. Okay, so this is buried a little bit. I don't love that it's buried. I want it to be like over here, but we can do this. Okay, this is not my real birthday, by the way. Let's see. Okay, this is cool. Gives, okay, like this. You can choose pronouns. You can choose a lot of demographic variables here. All right. I like that it specifies, like assigned at birth and then sexual orientation. Gives some decent gender options. I'm good with this. Right. Provider is there. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Okay, cool. So yeah, you can add some things here. I'm going to actually, I don't want this to conflict with my practice address. All right, there we go. Great. So I'm going to try to submit an insurance claim a little bit later, and we may need. All right, so insurance-wise, I'm just walking through. Okay, so this is nice. I like a good drop down. Thumb, Blue Cross. Let's see. I wonder if I could just type in Anthem, Colorado. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, great. Primary, self. I'm not going to do this. That's what a group number might be. I guess it's a group health plan. All right, I'm not going to put this information in, but I do like this. You can upload front and back of the insurance card. It's great. All right, so that's pretty easy. Family and contacts. Let's see what we got here. Referring providers. Yeah, I always like getting this information. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so we could add this. I'm assuming that this provider would then be stored in our database. All right, diagnoses, interesting. So I'm going to leave this blank and see if we can enter the diagnoses later, like while we're doing an appointment. All right, so actions, client info, and then let's see what settings. All right, so this is where you would customize the portal access for each client. Don't know why there is one default setting for an eating disorder. Now, let's see. Checkboxes in the food section are turned on. Interesting. Okay, so that apparently triggers a whole set of options. Okay, water intake. Yeah, I mean, as you can see, obviously this is built for many other specialties. Fitness, symptoms. We can track poop, apparently. That's important. Great. All right, lots of integrations and goals here. Okay, fantastic. So this is our client screen. So I would love the capability to book an appointment. Oh, here we go. Add appointment. I'd like that to be like just a little bit more obvious, but okay. So appointment type. I'm going to go back and do a little bit of setup here. So let's X out of this. Let's go home. Okay, great. Here's a little video. Interesting that this pops up now versus when you log in the first time. All right. So here's our dashboard. Pretty nice. Got some tasks. You have your calendar. I'm definitely going to go view the calendar in a second. You can add a new appointment right here. You can create tasks. Great. See what chat looks like. Chat. This looks like the place where you can talk with your clients. Oh yeah. There we go. But it does give you your client info over here, right within the chat interface, which is cool. Okay. What do we have here? This is programs. No idea what a program might be. Okay, yeah, so this is going to be almost like a course or a group or something like that, a class. We don't have that. Let's check out organization. Here we are. Actually, I'm not going to jump to the calendar. I want to stick in organization. So let's go back here. Looks like all kinds of ways to sort this calendar. So it defaults to calendar. All right, here are the people in the organization. Great. Permissions template. So we'd have to set that up. Let's go to settings. Let's see. Yeah. And then the EIN. Made a mistake, folks. That is EIN. And then, right. All right. Get in touch page of the client portal. Perfect. Update the organization. Okay. Good. It seems easy enough so far. Clients. Okay. We've been in clients. We know what that looks like. Calendar. Okay. Calendar looks pretty good. We have an appointment with our example client tomorrow. We can drag that around, it looks like, which I like. I love a good drag and drop calendar. Okay. You can connect with your external calendar, which looks good. You can quick share your calendar. Okay. I like this. Calendar looks reasonable. And when you click on this, it tells you what it is, the type of appointment, the provider, the time, video call. You can do video right within the interface here. Okay, you can select the status pretty easily. All right, number of minutes. Okay, documentation. I'm going to go to documentation here in just a moment. All right. Documents. This is actual documents. Okay, let's see what send fax does. There is going to be some kind of built-in faxing, which is cool. I like that. I wonder what the connection is there, or the integration. Not sure what that looks like. Okay, forms. Comes with a ton of forms. Let's go ahead and see what all the intake forms are. Yeah, I mean, it looks like there's some psychiatric options. Interesting. Yeah, it's calling many of our checklists intake forms. So that is interesting. But looks like it also has informed consent, patient intake, informed consent for AI scribe. That's kind of cool. All right, so lots of different options here. Let's click on therapy intake questionnaire. All right, so it looks like there is you can do like a drag and drop form builder here and customize your forms. Nice. Some options over here. Yeah, looks like pretty basic, effective. All right, so how do I get out of this? All right, just small UI thing. Not an easy way to back out, so I'm going to go back to forms over here in the menu. Not bad. Intake flows. Gonna see what. All right, I like this. Okay. I like this. Okay, yes. So this is great. It looks like you can add all kinds of forms. Okay, great. So I kind of like this. Now, I'm not going to play this out to the end, but clearly it looks like you can build like a paperwork packet and assign it to, yeah, there we go. Assign it to the client, and then they can click through. Yep. Actually really like this, that it's built in. It includes link. That's awesome. Okay, great. So that looks easy. And then we're at the end. So you could walk them through your entire paperwork packet and then assign it to them. Okay, I like this. That's under forms. Okay, billing. Don't like that I have to choose one of these options. Super bills. Okay, so you could create a super bill. Great. Payments. Okay, so this is where you can deal with that. Insurance. Okay, we're going to hold on all of this. Here's the faxing. Not available during the free trial. Okay. So maybe they have a proprietary faxing system. Labs, we're not going to mess with that. Marketing. Now, this is really interesting. What is this? Looks like you can do emails to clients or announcements. Okay. I like that. So maybe a basic email marketer. Then what do we have here? Visualize. This is the reporting. Okay. I really like that. Okay. So you can see appointments. Looks like you can, kind of build a dashboard of sorts. See your appointments, cancellations, provider utilization. Okay. Payments, credits, invoices, bank. Okay. Client activity. I'm not sure exactly what that would be. Insurance. Okay. Great. So looks like lots of options here for reporting, which I like, and workflows. Okay, great. Now, I didn't see anything. Okay, so let's go up to settings. I'm looking for the way to kind of create note templates or appointment templates. Okay, so that's your shortcut to tasks. This is your notifications, like that. What is this? Integrations. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I love this. Looks like lots of integrations. Now, I'm not going to go through all of this, but there's an AI scribe. Now, this is clearly built for more intense health practices, medical practices and whatnot. Claim MD for claim submission. Okay. Now, I'm not sure if manage means that all of these are already installed or what, but there's a ton here. Oh gosh, go high level, active campaign. So these are email marketing, Square for payments, Zendesk for customer support, Spruce Health. Maybe some of you use that, Google Drive. Okay, great. So this looks like, oh gosh, HubSpot Doc Health. This looks like it has some real potential for some cool integrations. It makes me want to be able to check this out a little further. All right, there's help. All right, let's go to settings. Okay, so we've got everything here. Notifications. Okay, so you can choose all of your notifications. Great. And this is all for you as the provider. Let's see, financial, I'm guessing. Oh, goodness. We are going to Stripe. Okay, so this is how you process payments, apparently. All right, so we'll go back. Ooh, I wish that it went right back to the settings menu, but so it goes. Brand. What's going on with brand? Okay, so this is where, I like this. I like these. You can customize the branding a bit. Referring providers, you can add those. Client sources, you can see where each client. Okay, wonder what that actually does. That could be super helpful. Okay, billing services. Let's go here. So I'm just going to go, no, gosh, I promise I know how to type, y'all. There we go. Initial assessment. Don't love that name, but sure. We're just going to put this information in quickly. Okay, I like that they have all of these things, auto-populating. I'm just going to add enough to let us create some appointments and notes, really test this out. And last one here. Great. Okay, fantastic. We have some services, insurance. What are we doing here? All right, enable insurance billing, eligibility, claims, automatically. Yeah, I want to automatically create. Ooh, document eligibility and benefits within their profile. I definitely want to do that. That sounds really cool. Automatically create the CMS 1500. Okay. I do like that. And of course, we're going to enable the super bills. Fantastic. Okay. These are settings. Oh, goodness. This is interesting. So availability by appointment type. So this could be really good if you are in a bigger practice and you're trying to search by appointment type to find the soonest available. That could be really helpful for us, actually. All right, appointment requests. Okay, tons of settings here. I like that you can specify when to send appointment emails and reminders. Looks like they have email reminders, text reminders, intake form reminders. This is really nice. You can presumably edit. No, you cannot edit the statuses, but those are pretty good. require clients to confirm the appointments. Okay, I really like this. Just as, bigger practice with tons of appointments, we are doing lots of admin work to manage confirmations and cancellations. All right. Type. Okay. Yeah, lots of settings here. Okay, I really like this. Okay, so I'm going to just add testing session. I'm going to default to 30 minutes. I do want to know where to specify. Yeah, this is where it gets tricky. Medical EHRs or mini EHRs actually. It's hard to know like the default length. So I'm going to say the default length for this appointment is actually, for us, I'm going to call it 360 minutes because we do most of our testing in one day. Specific providers, that's interesting. I don't want a reason for the appointment. Do not need to require a credit card for booking, although you could do that with your initial consultation. Confirmation email. Let's see. Oh, okay. Ooh, I like this. Before appointment. I really like this, so you can schedule the paperwork. I like the way that they implemented that as well. And then reminder emails, so you could, presumably these are defaults, but you can change them for the appointment as well. Okay, we got our appointment type here. And then I'm also going to add feedback session. Default's going to be, let's call it 60 minutes. Location. I'm not sure how to do that, but I do want in person to be an option. Okay, so I'll figure that out later. But that is a small sort of UI thing. All right, so we basically want these to be up at the top. Okay, nice. Appointment types. Here we go. Here's our locations. Great. Let's have rooms, but we're not going to do that right now. Looks like it does have the capability to manage rooms, which is great. A color scheme. Love a good color scheme. Interesting. Okay, I'm not going to mess with that right now. All right. External sync. What are we doing here? This is the calendar. Okay, great. Two-way calendar sync. I saw that in the materials. Self-scheduling. Okay, this is super interesting to me. I love that you can name your appointments. This is a problem with some other EHRs. You can't name the appointment and specify which appointment people are scheduling. So presumably you could set up an appointment type called screening call if you want to do an intro or consult call before you book the client. All right. Now, I know that we're really getting in the weeds here, but this is, to me, what matters for an EHR. I like to see what all this looks like on the back end and know what I'm getting into before I actually, all the EHRs pretty much, you can schedule an appointment and write a note. That's going to be pretty easy. That's why I want to get in and really dig into the back end settings and see what we're working with here. All right, client profile. Yeah, so I like this. You can really edit what shows up in the client profile. Like we don't do programs, so we could remove that. We don't do meal plans. Okay, this is good. And then they all live down here in inactive. Okay, fantastic. So quick profile, great. Lots of customization there as well. All right, smart phrases. Let's do this. Let's see. Actually, yeah, let's do that. Okay, I actually don't know what this is going to do. I don't know how to trigger the smart phrase either. So we'll just do that and see if it shows up. All right, care plans. No care plans. We're not doing care plans. Charting. What happens here? Charting note template, group session note template. Okay, so it does have templates here. Does have templates. So let's just see if we have, a SOAP note, progress note. None of these are really what we need. So we'll see if this works. Definitely want some customization in order to build. All right, chat settings, great. Tasks, yeah, I like that. I do want a reminder to complete my note. Integrations, I think we looked at, which is really cool. Email templates. Okay, great. Good Lord, this UI is weird. These icons feel completely out of place. aggressive, but I'll do it. I'll work with it. Okay, fantastic. So you can change these email templates, which is awesome. I like that. Customization is always cool. Journal entries, we are not. Who is that? Okay, don't think we would use a lot of these, but tags. All right. I would think that we could add tags, but I'm not sure. Then intervention. Decisions support interventions in line with the requirements. Interactions, demographic, diagnoses. Okay. I like these. I'm not sure what they do, but. And then organization, we've got our team members. Okay, cool. Pretty robust settings. The one thing that's missing for me is, in charting. Now, maybe there is a way to do a custom note, but I couldn't figure out where that is. Forms. Insurance. Yeah. That seems strange to me that with all the customization that is available here, there's no way to create a custom note. It says client documents. This is interesting. Okay, but let's go home. Okay, so we're going to add a new appointment. I don't love that it defaults to this. I want to see the calendar, but maybe that means we just need to go to the calendar. Okay. So here we are. I'm going to just create tomorrow's Wednesday, 10 a.m. All right. I am coming in for a testing session. It's not going to be a video call. This is in person at the main office. Start time 10 a.m. Go ahead and add this session. All right, cool. I like this. We can come back in. We see all of the things here. And let's see what happens when we create a note. See, this is where I really want something different. I'm going to create the note just to see what the interface looks like, but okay, so pretty standard SOAP note. Editing the note. This is getting a little busy up here. I don't personally love this. I'm sure that you can modify that. I do like that it has these icons, tells you it's unlocked. Nobody signed it. So let's see what happens when I sign and lock this note. Locking a note will prevent any edits or signatures. Sign note. We're going to sign and lock. Now, is there anything else though we need to do to make this note happen? Like, my question is, where is the CPT code on this note? Okay, I'm just going to work through this. We're going to lock this note. It is locked. It is signed. There's an addendum. Okay, nice audit log here. Do we have to manually do this? Referral information, referring provider, rendering provider. Okay, so presumably I'll be able to put all this in and it would just auto-populate. Okay, and then we have to add a service facility. See, I didn't see that in the settings, so that's interesting to me. I wonder where that is. Okay, here's all of this. Signature on file. I have to do this every time, or is there a place that we can billing items? Interesting. Why? Okay, let's just see. So we got 1 unit of, I'm not sure why this isn't auto-populating, because we created these codes elsewhere. So I'm not sure why it's not here. All right, so we got 1 unit. Really? Okay, I don't know why this isn't populating automatically. Maybe I'm doing something wrong in the note. But procedure code 2, we're going to do 96137. Then we'll do 11 units. Don't know why we have to put the fee in. Again, I think that should be auto-populating based on entering the code already. It does have the total charge here. I'll do save and close. Okay. actually like this. Gotcha. Forces. Oh, and that counts down as you fix the issues. Where is the other issue? I'm guessing it's up here with entering some information. Great. Okay, there we go. So apparently this is okay. We're going to save and close that. All right. So now looks like we are still under the client, but it takes us to the billing tab for the client. Let's just export. How do we send? Yeah. I mean, obviously I'm not going to send it, but okay, interesting. Charting. It does show our note, forms, documents, records. Okay, so I want to view the note, and yeah, sign and lock apparently means that you are completely locked in this note. I think this is a pretty common function in medical EHRs, and maybe others, but I want to edit it. Okay. Okay. So that process was okay. I don't like the disconnect between the note and the creating the insurance claim. So let's go ahead and go back to clients. We'll go to example client in billing. And okay, this client is not using insurance. So let's go to our calendar. I'm just going to put in an appointment yesterday. We'll do the example client. We'll do a feedback session. So this was in person at the main office. Great. All right. Now, do I have a task reminder to do that note? No. All right. So we've got our appointment. It occurred, and let's say we spent a little extra time. We'll do 97 minutes. Save those changes. Great. Still no task to create a note. So I'm going to go in here, create the note. Just do free text. And yes, this is again, I don't love this. I don't love this. Create super bill. I'm going to go through that process just to see, just to put something in here. We are going to save the note and we'll sign the note. Okay. Already signed. Can I export it or edit it? It is unlocked, but it looks like I can't. Okay, so if I remove the signature. Okay, cool. So then you can go edit. All right, great. Let's just say create super bill, see what that does. We've got all the info. Yeah, I really wish that this populated automatically. Here it is. This is different. This is different. Okay, you can do modifiers. Okay. This is actually much easier because our codes are populating automatically. These diagnosis pointers, apparently. Okay, cool. The super bill street in the super bill and see what happens here. Okay, so this is interesting. Just like, user interface inconsistency between the CMS 1500 interface and the super bill interface. The CMS 1500 interface did give us an alert up here in red telling us that we needed to change something. This one did not. It just didn't work. All right, great. Super bill, sent, paid. Okay, now let's see. Can we enter? So we can email it to the client, which is great. All right, let's go to billing. Okay, here's super bills, and presumably you have to go into the super bill to enter a payment. Let's just say this person paid $500. We're going to update that. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's some disconnect here in terms of the workflow. I would like this to auto update. Like if we enter a payment, then maybe it goes to sent. And again, some of this might just be like not understanding the intent behind these workflows. And charge client, outside payment, invoices. So yeah, just for me, this is, okay, I'm not sure why the client isn't showing up in the dropdown. Okay, outside payment. again, it doesn't seem like we can, okay, there we go. So I'm just going to say that credit card complete. Okay, so we entered a payment. Great. I want to go back to charge client though and figure out why I'm not sure why. Maybe I didn't enter a payment method, but I'm curious why I didn't show up. And then I'm also interested to know how create invoice is different. Yeah, does this happen manually or does it auto-populate? Okay. Client responsibility. Okay, yeah, so it looks like, at least right here, you do have to manually enter, the write-offs and so forth. So that. Okay, so let's see. I want to go back to the visualization. Presumably. Yeah, it's actually not showing anything. I thought maybe some of these, some that we've generated come up on the report, but they did not. Okay, maybe that's just a function of the free trial. Okay, so some instances here of appointments. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm torn on this. There are a lot of good things. There's a ton of customization. There are a ton of integrations. That looks amazing. Workflows is cool. The calendar, pretty easy to work with. I think the setup was relatively easy and laid out pretty well, but some of the concerns with this EHR, it is clearly built for many different disciplines, and that might be an issue just because, a lot of the interfaces are pretty generic and tailored to medical practices or other specialty practices. I'm not a huge fan of and this is pretty common, I've found in many EHRs, especially those that are medical. There doesn't seem to be a super clear integration between making an appointment, writing a note for that appointment that matches what we need for testing. I could not find a way to create a custom note, which is interesting. So writing the note that matches testing, and then this manual process of creating a CMS 1500 or a billing statement, all of that just has too much disconnect for me. Now, if you're in an admin heavy practice and your admin team for some reason has the time to do all of this, then maybe this would work for you. But right out of the box, yeah, it seems like this is really well suited probably to medical practices or other specialties. But there's just, especially if you're an insurance-based practice doing testing, there are a couple things that would make this kind of a deal breaker for me. Now, I do like that there is some marketing built in, faxing built in. There are, a lot of automations and some things that make this pretty easy to work with. But on the whole, I'm not super impressed with Healthie, at least at first blush. Now, this is where I always remind everyone, this is just an initial walkthrough. I obviously didn't do any training with the Healthie staff. I don't know how to maximize using the software, and that makes a difference. So this is a piece of software that lets you sign up on your own and navigate on your own. And I would say that the learning curve is maybe a little bit steep if you're trying to learn this on your own. I would want some maybe more guided onboarding, and maybe that happens in the support section. So let's actually see what happens here when we go to the help center. All right, so yeah, pretty straightforward. This is a really common layout and platform for a help section. Getting started. Okay, lots of there's lots of information here. Scheduling, EHR and billing. So I would want to work through a lot of these to try and learn it better. But personally, I feel like if your software is complex enough that someone needs to go to the help section immediately to figure out how to set things up, then you should be doing kind of like a guided onboarding or a demo situation or something like that that supports your customers a little bit better. Anyway, I will wrap this up. Thank you for tuning in to this EHR review. Like I said, mixed feelings about this one. I think there are a lot of positive features. and fantastic integrations and some ease of use features. On the whole, not super friendly to testing right out of the box. Maybe with some customization, it would be easier to work with. And at this point, I am not super sold on it. But to each their own. Healthie is a new EHR. It has burst on the scene. And as far as pricing goes, let's check that out. Here we have the pricing. This is a feature, of course, to check out. Let's see. Looks like, the Essentials pricing is pretty competitive with many of the EHRs out there. Now, it does not say immediately if this is per practitioner. That's an important feature to figure out. So for many of us, 250 active clients will be plenty. Outbound fax, email branding, CMS fits, we do need that. Now, if you are submitting insurance claims, I imagine you would need this ClaimMD integration. That is, claim submission and processing, dedicated eFax. That sounds good. Let's see if there's anything in group that would need to be. Yeah, if you're a solo practitioner, billing insurance, I think plus is where you would land at $130 a month. If you're a group practice, $149 a month for a group practice is not bad. But if that's per practitioner, then that is very steep. If that's just total, then that's great. Let's see. Essentials might be fine if you are a solo practitioner not billing insurance. And then it looks like they have a starter plan that's even more stripped down than core. All right. Customer support. No chatbots, no hoops, fast and reliable email support, personalized one-to-one onboarding and training calls. Okay, so that's good to know. All right, folks, I really am going to wrap it up at this point. And thanks for tuning in to this review of Healthie. Has some potential for sure, but I would need that support. There were a few things that told me that, there's a little bit of inconsistency in the development and, detail-oriented things that I would want to clean up to really believe in this product. So that's it for now. Thanks for tuning in.